Breaking news. Breaking news. Another crime scene, folks. JLR investigates in Killingly, Connecticut, folks. We're covering the New England serial killers. And this is a spot where human remains were found. Come on in, folks. Come on in. Hopefully the reception is good where we're at. This is a very remote back of the road area. We are in Killingly, Connecticut, Danielson, Connecticut area. There has been human remains that were found here right over there. Now, we can't proceed much farther, folks, because it says no trespassing. No trespassing sign here. No trespassing. But we're going to talk about this area here. We're going to talk about the New England serial killer. Now, this one is very fishy and suspect. Folks, April 9th, human remains were found here. In a series of, from March through April, as we've previously discussed, there has been 7 bodies throughout New England. Connecticut, Rhode Island, just 10 minutes away, another body was found. We're going to talk about her in a little bit, that victim, but we're focusing here. And then also Massachusetts, right? Now, where I'm at is the back of it seems like the back of the road here. And on April 9th, authorities arrived to this location and found human remains. Now, it's very important if we're covering this serial killer case to try to get an understanding and perspective of each and every area of these individual killings. And are they all connected in any way? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. But what I do know about here is you have a small community, a neighborhoods, and I'm going to take you up the road. It looks like to the right, though, if you go all the way down to the end of the road, it looks like some sort of housing projects, like subsidized housing type of deal. But we're going to walk. We're going to show you the area. I'm going to spin the camera around, talk about this case in here. Hopefully the reception is good. Reception's good. People are saying A-OK on reception. So come on, folks. We're going to continue the conversation. New England serial killer. New England serial killer. Come on in. Come on in. So, I'm going to give you some information. Stay with me. Let me get this up and ready. I see a lot of people coming in. Maybe you got notifications. Maybe you didn't. We welcome all on JLR Investigates. Every location centered around this particular case. We talk about New England serial killer. Let me see what we got. Oh, yeah, the reception is good. Look at this. I'm looking at myself on the reception. Reception looks pretty good to me. A little spinning right there. But we are good. We're good. We're good. We're good. All right. So, folks, what happened here is, according to media reports, April 9th, there was human remains that were found here. It says, state police conduct investigation after finding human remains in Danielson. Now, this is considered Danielson. It's Killingly, either or. It's like in between both towns. The investigation caused commotion in Connecticut's Quiet Corner. And we're talking about this location. We're talking about this location right here. And authorities are saying that human remains were found right over there. Now, the very first thing I think of is, how did the human remains get to this location? Got to be there somehow. Somebody must have dumped someone, because I don't think someone died of natural causes right here. Either someone was killed in place here or killed here themselves. I don't think it's natural causes. They're investigating it, also saying that multiple agencies, police agencies, are involved with the situation. They could have very well walked here. But there's only when you have a pinpoint location, there's 4 ways to get to that pinpoint location: left, right, north, south, right? So, human remains right all in that area right there. That kind of it's looks like, see what I mean? Human remains. How did it get there? From that way? Going down there that way? Maybe, because down there's some housing projects down there. And I'm going to take you down there. Maybe from that way. Cross over that way and work this way there. Maybe from this way. From this way. I don't know what's over there. Or from this way, right here. And I'm thinking it's possibility that someone maybe drove someone here, or someone walked from this location right here. Now, I wish I could go past. The media said that they put up no trespassing signs, so we can't cross over. We're going to keep it on a public street on JLR Investigates. As this happened on the 9th, they don't have much information to share, authorities, but they said there is no threat at this time. It has caused a lot of commotion in the area. Neighbors are like, this is totally weird. I mean, it's kind of scary when you think about it, but I think we'll be okay. One neighbor said, I heard about some other ones from the friends, and honestly, I was just hoping it was one of those crazy myths that you hear about. One neighbor said, Connecticut State Police are investigating human remains found near Woodward Street. This is Woodward Street. This is the back of Woodward Street. Woodward Street. It's unclear how the remains got there. How the remains got there, why, and when the person died, or their identity. This is the third case where human remains were found in this radius since March 20th, creating a lot of buzz. And they're saying on March 20th, Groton found, the suitcase with human remains in front of the cemetery. We went there. And then Foster, Rhode Island on March 27th was the body of Michele Romano. We will check out those cases. The question is all those cases connected in any way? Connected in any way? I don't know. See a basketball out here. Somebody is playing basketball. There's a basketball out here. But yeah, we're gonna just spin the camera around. We'll walk up the street. We'll look. We'll see. We'll see what we can find. We can see what we're looking at here. And we'll see what we're looking at here. So this is the area. We just want to give you a quick assessment here at the area. Back of the road. And then first thing I see here is a little shed. Someone's shed. And then you got a house here. I'm looking to see if any of these homes have surveillance or ring camera. Don't see any. And then over here, you just got the woods. So, say, for instance, the person came and dumped the body here. You got the end of the street. It's very, very rural, remote. See what I mean? So we're just going to go up. I just want to kind of show you the neighborhood while we're here, passing through. We're covering all these cases on JLR Investigates. I'm going to make another video to make the situation more clear. Hopefully we can get some insight. But how did the human remains get here in Killingly? I don't see any cameras, like ring cameras, on anyone's home. But I'm just going to take you up here real quick. Look. Here. Pretty crazy, folks. But none of these homes have ring cameras. I don't see any ring cameras on these homes. So how in the heck did human remains get here? I'm approaching Davis, and I'm approaching Davis. Human remains. Human remains.
Yeah, it was actually on the railroad track.
Oh, it was down? It wasn't over there. It wasn't behind that no trespassing. Ah, because, hey, you mind if we talk?
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you. We always want to get insight. We want to get the truth.
Yeah, I actually talked to the resident state trooper and all about that. They haven't really officially released anything. But the reason why they were down here is because there's a railroad track
Gotcha.
right behind. If you go straight down this road, there's a railroad track about maybe 100 feet behind the elderly complex here. And they found the body about, I want to say, somewhere between 20 and 50 feet off the railroad track. And when they looked at it, they said it was at least like 2.5, 3 years old. And so they need to get the crime lab down there. Well, they can't put the crime lab down the railroad track because there's no access. There is an access behind the elderly complex, but they didn't want to upset the elderly complex down there.
Yeah.
Those people. So there's an access road there. So they park down here and access the railroad tracks down there.
Gotcha. Because
then it
yeah,
kinda
because
blew up.
yeah, because they saw the crime scene tape right there at that
Yeah.
thing, and people were assuming it was right over there on the other side. So it's
No.
down even more.
It was down probably no more than like 50 foot off of the railroad track where that road turns
Yeah.
and goes next to the track. So I talked to a trooper maybe about 3 weeks ago. We bumped into each other. I know him. I've known him for a long time. And he was just on the down low. He's just like, the body was at least 2.5 to 3 years old. It had evidence of major trauma of all that. And they think what happened was homeless walk that track all the time. In fact, they walk through here, very quiet neighborhood, but they walk through here in the summertime. They camp near the brook and tents and stuff.
Ah, really?
So whatever down happened, he probably walked from downtown all the way down the track and was trying to cut across, got hit by a train. Reason why no one's reported missing, because he's homeless.
Got hit by a train.
Yeah, the train hit him. There was evidence
No
of the train.
serial killer. So
No, there's none out here.
you hear about the rumors about the serial killer?
Yeah, there was a body like 9 miles from here.
Yeah.
I mean, the closest thing I've ever heard to a serial killer here was when I moved here years ago when Michael Ross was around then in this area. But as soon as we saw that and I went down and talked to a couple of cops here and stuff and all that, I pretty much talked to my neighbors and all that because we've been here a long time. And I'm like, how much you would bet it's a homeless person that went down there and died? Sounds cruel, but either froze to death, had a heart attack, whatever, and died down there. And then we found out it was near the track, and they just basically used this as access.
Gotcha. How do I get over there? I can't, really.
What's that?
How do I get over there? I really can't because it says no trespassing.
Yeah, well, we used to walk dogs down there and ride ATVs and all that, and there's a lot more lenient. Well, since this has happened, I'm not really sure who owned the property, but the word basically got out. It's like, don't go on there, stay out, this and that, or whatever. You wouldn't even know that road's there unless you actually went down there.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people think it's through the woods there, but it's not. It goes that way. So
you solved the mystery. You think it was just someone hit by a train?
School bus.
Oh,
Must have ran to
interesting.
stop.
Yeah.
as soon as, I mean, the worst thing, I've been here 20 years in this neighborhood. The worst thing that's ever happened, and it happened to me, was I had my trash can stolen.
Oh, really?
And that sounds weird, but
Trash can? Who would steal a trash can?
yeah, I had them on camera too. But
Really?
like,
Who was it? A
whatever.
guy that stole it?
Yeah, just guy just drove up in the
Just
middle
come
of
on
the
and
night
stole
and
your
grabbed my
can?
cans and put them back in his truck and took off. But other than that, I mean, we don't have, any kind of, we don't have bad element around here. Everybody watches over everybody. We all have cameras if we see something going on. But we don't. I mean, we used to have a resident trooper that lived 2 houses down like 2 years ago.
So that's what I was saying. I was saying, like, I wonder if anyone has ring cameras, and they do, probably, right?
Well, the guy on the corner, I'm not giving away his business, but he's very, let's put it this way. If World War III or something was going to happen, that's the house you want to be at.
Right. It's just
He's
prepared.
Yeah, let's put it that way. He's prepared. I mean, if World War III or Red Dawn happens or anything like that, that's the house you want to go to. So we pretty much knew. We're like, because my wife was like, do we have a serial killer here and all that? I'm like, think about this. What guy is going to, in this neighborhood, is going to kill someone and drag them to their house? It's like, and not many people even know about that road. You don't know about that road unless you live here or accidentally go down there. I mean, if I was to go to the end of this road right now, right here, and tell you that there's something, you'd be like, where? Until you walk down there, you wouldn't know it's there.
Yeah, we were having a difficulties trying to find it on the map.
Yeah.
Trying to find this actual location here.
Yeah, like I said, I think the reason why the police are being really hush-hush about it is because they want to try to get some identity to the body.
Do you know if it was a male or female? What's the word?
I heard it was male. Don't quote me on it. I heard through things or whatever, but this is why I believe that it was a homeless guy. One, no one's been reported missing. Two, about 2.5, well, I've been here 20 years, and about maybe 10 years ago, during the summertime, I was going through my recycling bin, getting cans and bottles and all that, and I went out there, I'm like, what's going on? And he was a homeless guy. And because I just go around the neighborhood the day before, because I know the trash cans go out, and I collect all these and I turn them in. I said, all right. I said, from now on, I'll put my bag of bottles and stuff out there so you can take it so you're not waking me up digging through my recycling thing. He goes, awesome. But he was in this neighborhood. He used to ride a bicycle with a cart, and he'd pull around like 2, 3, 4 in the morning or whatever. Well, about 2.5 years ago, it stopped. Haven't seen him, no one in the neighborhood seen him or whatever. He was known to camp down there.
What was his name?
Never even knew his name.
No.
But my money's on that's him.
How old do you think he was?
Oh, God, he was in his late 60s.
Late 60s.
Yeah. Pedaled a bicycle around here and everything else and stuff. So the thing is, can they really prove that that's him?
DNA,
because,
maybe? DNA.
Unless he has somebody, if he has somebody, related to him or whatever.
Did
and all that.
Did any police come like door to door asking for surveillance or anything?
I know they did down there.
Down there.
At the initial, but then I heard it just kind of died because we never got a visit.
And you're at the top of the road. You'd think that if it was that like a crime, you would think that they would look and see the access to that area and they would at least ask.
I've known this guy for years. That guy, I've known him for years and all that down there. And this was kind of sporadic because we've had people move in and out over the last 10 years or whatever. But, all the neighbors talking all that. And they were like, the only 2 that I know that got knocked on was the last 2 houses there. And then it stopped because I think they looked at it and said, oh, shit.
Yeah.
This is something really, really old or whatever. So there was no need to look for.
I
don't know what a body looks like that's been 2.5, 3 years old. But, obviously they know. I had a trooper look me right dead in the face and tell me, he goes, you have nothing to worry about. This thing was
You
old.
solved the mystery. What's your name?
It's Kevin Kelly.
Kevin. I'm Kelly. I like that name. Kevin Kelly. I'm JLR. Nice to
doing?
meet you. Has media been around here reporting this?
Oh, yeah. I was all over TV.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, unfortunately. But it's quiet. I'm not worried about nothing here.
No fears.
No, nothing. I'm not saying somebody can come up here and maybe steal something or something like that, but as far as that other stuff, we have an elderly complex. It's assisted living at the end of the road, and the police constantly patrol this all the time. I work on.
I'm surprised they didn't call the cops on me walking around the streets.
Well, we were wondering who you were.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I was over here, because I live across there.
Yeah.
And we
Oh,
were
you
like-
were the trailer over there?
I'm right there with the white
Gotcha.
Mustang and all
Oh, yeah,
that.
I saw
So-
you. Yeah, I saw you coming in.
Yeah,
I
so
pulled
I
right
was-
behind you.
Yep. So I was kind of like, I looked at him. I said, okay, who's just taking pictures of that? I mean, that's how we are around here.
Yeah.
So
I would be like that too. Who's in my
I mean, my
neighborhood?
house is like Fort Knox. I mean, I have a ton of cameras, so and
Yeah.
they get all the intersections. So when I went to for my job, I have to get fingerprinted every couple of years. So I went down there and I was talking to the cops, and like I said, he looked me right in the face and told me, he goes, I know who you are, and I know where you live, because you got nothing to worry about. Because we're not coming out with it, or whatever. I know we haven't said anything because it's gone.
The media kind
silent.
of put out like major investigation going on,
Well-
state police, all types of crime units. And,
Well, I was on channel 10, Providence, channel 30, and I think channel 3 or 12 or whatever. But the one from Providence was really trying to push the fact that, are you really nervous because the body found in Groton, and then there was one 9 miles from here? And if you look on their archive, I'm on there, and I said, technically, they said, why are they down there so long? I said, I just think they're making sure they're crossing their T's and dotting their I's with everything. My money's on homeless, and I said it right on TV. And off camera, she says, what makes you think? And I told her the same thing I told you. I said, I've lived here a bunch of years, and I see them go down there, and they don't mess with anything. They don't bother anybody. They're not drunks or homeless people. And they go down there, and there's a brook, and there's places where they can camp out in tents. They put up their tents or whatever.
well, where they come from? Like, are they from?
This railroad track runs right to downtown. Right
What
square.
downtown is that?
Danielson.
Danielson.
Like, I mean.
So
you
are
could
they
walk
just
down the
like
track in
walking
10
up trying to
minutes.
work their way to Boston?
Nope. They're just going down to the brook there because they know a lot of them fish in it. They stay. They know it's a safe place. No one's going to mess with them.
Gets
You
kind
know.
of cold up here in the winter though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't see many in the wintertime. So, they probably, sleep in the shelter in town and all that. But I would, in the summertime, I see a lot out here. And we see the same people all the time. But we're not worried about them, because if they were a nuisance or trying to break into a house or whatever, or stealing whatever, then we'd call the cops, or we'd remove them ourselves, God forbid, or whatever. But,
What's that alarm? You hear that?
yeah, that's Daveville Fire Department.
Oh, they do it like 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock.
No, they only do a 12 and a 7, so that's probably a roll call. But yeah, this railroad track goes from Daveville. Well, it goes all the way to wherever. But you can go from, a lot of people use it to, instead of walking on the road, they walk down the tracks from Danielson to Daveville. That comes out right in Daveville by the fire department, where that's at. And if you go this way, it comes out right downtown, and you'll see all the homeless that hang out right there by the tracks all the time.
They work their way up.
So they just use this as an artery
Yeah.
to travel. This isn't the first time that someone's been hit by a train. We had,
Oh, really? People.
in the last 10 years, we probably had 4 or 5 people.
So
get
what
hit.
kind of train is it? Like
It's, we call it Providence Worcester Railroad. Just regular carts,
carts?
like, grain carts.
Yeah.
Just regular, storage carts, whatever. Just a regular train.
So the people,
Not a
the
passenger
conductor
train.
probably don't even see.
Oh, dude, it's like hitting a bug, going down the windshield.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna see that.
Well, I'm surprised somebody wouldn't get off the tracks when a train is coming.
You would think, but we had a guy, I want to say 7 or 8 years ago, that was walking home, a young kid walking down the track, and he didn't hear the train until it got up on him and hit him. He lived.
He
Lost
lived.
both of his legs.
Oh my goodness.
But there's been a lot of people hit. I mean, I'm the same way. I'm just like, how could you not hear a train coming? But I've heard people say that, sometimes you can't hear it till it's right on you. One of those ones, I'm sorry. I wouldn't walk on the track anyway. I'd walk my ass off the side or something like that. But yeah, I mean, it was so hyped up because the first reporter that stuck a mic in my face, they cut out a lot.
yeah, we go
Yeah, I
raw.
said.
We go right raw.
And they were just like,
Actually, look, we're live. We're YouTube
Oh,
live.
okay.
You can
All
check
right.
it out on JLR Investigates later, because
Okay.
we've been going from the locations to locations,
Yeah.
right? Because they said 7 bodies, right?
Yeah.
So, honestly, in my opinion, and again, I'm not gonna, I always leave no stone unturned, but Framingham, they
Yeah.
said there was off the Turnpike at 117 in Massachusetts. We don't think that was the serial killer.
Right.
New Haven, Denise Leary, African American woman. We don't think that was a serial killer.
Right.
Groton might be, because Groton, they found a suitcase. They found a suitcase in front of a cemetery.
Right.
And then here, and then you got the Romano, and then you got a skull that was in Plymouth.
Yeah, I did not know about the body. It was like 10 miles from here until this happened.
Yeah.
I guess that was the lady that was missing from Warwick.
Yes. Yep.
And they found her in Foster. I knew nothing about that. I'm not a really big, I mean, I'm on YouTube all the time, but I don't watch regular mainstream TV. I just kind of shut that stuff out. But, you know, I just kind of stay in my lane with that. I have my opinions, but
Yeah.
But anyway, when they said that, they're like, what about the body? You know, you think it's connected to that? I'm like, what body? And they're like, you know, like 9-10 miles from here in Foster. I said, well, it's the first time I'm hearing it from you. Were you worried? I'm like, no. And I can tell you right now, I have not, my danger meter from 1 to 10 was below 1. So I was never worried about anything. I knew there had to be a logical explanation for that, because you don't know that's there unless you live right here. Gotcha. There's just no way. I mean, you saw that yourself.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm already ruling it out. I'm ready to move on to the next one here. I think we've solved the mystery. Homeless person or someone that got hit by a train. Yep. That's it. Yep. No serial killer. And,
I'm not worried about.
It's an interesting name though, Killingly.
Yeah, exactly.
Serial killer and Killingly.
When I moved here 20 years ago, well, over 20 years ago, I thought it was kind of weird too. It was kind of like, my ex-wife was from this area, and I'm like, Killingly. I'm like, man, that just got a weird thing to it. But no, I mean, there's no one around here that's worried. I mean, I don't know if it's true, but I heard other people say that they've already got a visit from the state police saying they went to individual houses or whatever. But
at ease.
Yeah, I mean, they
at ease. Nothing to worry about. No threat at this time.
I think the media just kind of like, oh my God, okay, there was a body like 10 miles from here. It's gotta be that. It's gotta be. I mean, there's a local. I follow a local radio station, WINY, in Putnam, and the reason why I follow is because they have local news, and it blew up, and there are people on there that don't know this neighborhood, don't know this town or whatever, and they're like, oh my God, we got another serial killer, and we got this, and I almost got myself in serious trouble a bunch of times commenting on stuff.
Yeah.
And then I went and deleted them and all that, because people don't need to invoke panic on everyone when you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, we're trying to get the truth. That's all we try to do is try to, and the truth, you know, the truth is the neighbors and live near closest to these scenes. They know what's up.
They know what's going on. And like I said, I talked to a gentleman down the street, and like I said, he's the kind of guy that if shit hits the fan and you need to be somewhere safe, that's the place to be. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah.
But he just looked at me and laughed. He goes, man, the media is crazy about this shit. He goes, it's unreal. It's like the sky is falling and there's nothing going on. I'm like, he goes, I think he even knew them, but he didn't want to say too much because they were parked in his front yard, you know, the crime lab and everything else. So, but like I said, long story short,
the only one that we feel right now is Groton.
Groton. Yeah.
Groton's the only one that we feel is weird, but they just raided an apartment like 1 block away the other day, so it might be connected. So we're just kind of like going through each one.
Yep.
And or at least giving people what the area looks like and let them decide. And you know, we thought this was warranted to come to these locations to see.
Yeah, I mean, my wife and a couple other guys around here, their wives were upset a little bit because, you know, it's a little unsettling and all that. And then as things went on by day 2, we're just like, okay, whatever. And the media was still reporting it down here every day with cameras and crews, and we're like, you know, come on or whatever, but we're not worried about nothing here. We know what's going on.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Kelly. Nice conversation. Check out the channel later, JLR Investigates.
I will.
On YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. You'll like it. We cover true crime. Thank you, sir. Be safe. All right, so we got the answers. Neighbor spills the tea. Doesn't feel like it's a serial killer. We might have solved this case. We might be able to check this off the list as being a serial killer. Might be able to check this off the list. Maybe, maybe not. What do you think? He also said it was back further than where we pointed to, but they had a lot of crime scene tape there, so it was actually further back. So we got it. This is on Davis and Woodward. I think we're gonna go check out, and this goes to a dead end. Now, I was also incorrect here by calling this a housing project. He said it's an elderly home back here, like an elderly spot back here. We'll just take a walk while we're here. He said police patrol here all the time. Railroad tracks. There is a lot of buzz about this potential serial killer in New England. So if you are following this case, please share the video out of who I just spoke to, a neighbor, and he gave his assessment, and he pretty much thinks no serial killer. Plus, you know, local police would be telling the neighbors, lock your doors at night, be very, very careful. This is an open case, you know, just because I'm sure a lot of the residents here are like, what in the heck is going on? What the heck going on? And police are going to tell them, they're going to be real with them, saying, yo, you got a threat out there or not. And he said nothing. They didn't even go to his house for surveillance, which was up on the corner to get down there. So I don't think it is a serial killer. Probably was somebody that got hit by a train. Makes all sense. If it's by the railroad tracks, someone get trained. But there, people have been dumped along the railroad tracks too. Maybe if it isn't someone that got hit by a train, maybe it was someone out there that got OD'd high or something and overdosed. Maybe somebody was high and they got hit by a train or something. It's a little windy out here now. I'm gonna go down to the end of the road here just to show you the area. That goes to a dead end. How's it going? Looking around for serial killers. I don't think there's any. So I'm live. I'm live right now. I'm just YouTubing live, going down the street. I just talked to one neighbor down there. He said his assessment was it was just somebody got hit by a train.
Really?
Out there, not a serial. You've heard about this?
Yeah, it happened over there on the next street, and my neighbor.
You mind if I share? Or
What's that?
you mind if would you like to talk or?
Not really.
Not really.
But I was.
I won't face the camera. I'll face it this way.
We had a state trooper come knocking on everybody's door, asking if we saw any suspicious characters, and.
When was that? Do you know?
The day they found it.
So the 9th?
The next day.
10th?
Yeah, and so my neighbor was saying it might have been a homeless person, but I didn't know all the details, and they weren't really coming, forward saying what exactly happened. I didn't know if it was a male or female, or they said they found human remains. I don't know. I'm hearing a bunch of stuff. They found somebody in a suitcase or something like that.
Yeah, that was in Groton. But they did come to your door.
The state trooper came to
everybody's door and asked if they seen anything suspicious or surveillance.
Yeah. So.
And you said no.
No, I haven't. I said 3 weeks ago we had people. I was walking my daughter through the neighborhood, and I had a guy asking me for money, and he looked like pretty shady looking. But
somebody asked you for money?
Well, it was a guy asking, just asking for money. He looked like he might have been homeless, but
yeah.
He said this happened a long time ago. I don't know. The person they found, or whoever it was, had been there a long time. So
yeah.
I don't know.
I think you guys are safe here.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, I've got my weapons.
There you go. There you go. Second Amendment. Second Amendment. Have a great day, sir. Second Amendment. Second Amendment. He said he had his guns. That's how some people are too. They're like, well, he did say that. LE went to door around here and was asking people. that second day. So maybe they didn't know what was going on at the time. Maybe they're doing their due diligence. Maybe they want to see maybe the person walking, or maybe they do believe it's a crime. See, now it got my mind a little bit like, okay, well, they asked another neighbor, they're asking for surveillance. What's up with that? What's up with that? You learned a little bit more. Sometimes it takes more than talking to just one person. Sometimes it takes talking to multiple people. I'm not going to go past the sign here. It says no trespassing. It's some sort of elderly home. But apparently over there on the other side there is some railroad tracks. Railroad tracks. So this is some railroad tracks. So we got that. We'll continue to walk back, see what's going on. I parked up here. Quiet neighborhood, right? Quiet neighborhood. Reporting on serial killers.
Oh, that was in our backyard.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Oh, good. Yeah, we had the detectives come and everything. A bunch of them come, 6 or 7, about a week ago. I was standing outside.
Where exactly? Behind?
Well,
you live in here?
Well, yeah, I live here. Yeah. If you go in the backyard over there, there's a garbage can. You look over there. There's a little garden. There's a fence.
Can I walk back there? Am I allowed?
Yeah. If anybody says anything, and there's a fence. Okay.
If anybody says anything, I'll say who sent me.
Christine. That's Darlene.
Darlene.
But listen, there's a fence, there's a gate like this here, and the gate, last summer was open. We walked, and it comes down to the road that's over here.
Mm-hmm.
If you walk all the way down, and that's a dead end, but you can walk, there's a gate around there, and you go down that way, and it comes by the railroad tracks, and that's where they found him. You can get this way, but this way is always closed off. But last summer it was open. We went there all the time. I reported there was a tent down there, and the homeless people, and the guy came in and told him, I see kids from Hillstead going that way all the time, and he says, no, it wasn't. He says it was an older person.
Hey, there he is.
And I'm like,
Well, Liddy loves you, hey.
Hey, how are you? What's your name?
Good. Jason.
Jason, nice to meet you.
Well, Liddy says he's down there. Go see him. Go see him.
Give me one second,
Jason.
We're fine.
I'll turn around.
Cool. So he's like, the way he looked at me, he's like, I said, there was homeless people. I said, I reported the tent because we can't have tents on our land. There was tents down there, and this was in the fall. So all through the winter, because you can't actually, if the gates are gated, the only way you can get down there is through that other end.
Mm-hmm.
So if they go down there, no one bothers them. The train goes by, and the train don't see him, and that's where they found him, on the side of the train.
Do you think the train hit him?
Well, you think of anything. Was somebody, they walked the train tracks, Was it somebody that, that got tipsy and fell off the tracks and hit their head, and then they died because it was a decomposed body that they found?
Yeah.
You don't know. Well, everybody thinks of something different, That's why the detectives are coming around. They were asking all kinds of questions about everybody, Yep. I'm like, it's in our backyard. I locked my doors, and I've never locked my door for 13 years.
Really?
And
you actually locked your door because of this?
Yeah.
Wow. For how long? I mean, I think you should lock your doors regardless. It's a crazy world, man.
I know that, but we're in it's supposed to be a well-lit community, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's elderly, disabled, it's supposed to. When you find somebody dead in our backyard.
Yeah. You were probably wondering who I am. Is this a guy, a serial killer? Look, I got media.
It's okay, I know. I saw it. I'm like, this guy.
I'm just out here trying to find answers. But you are the second person now who told me about possibility of a hitting on the
well, of course.
train.
If somebody's maybe having a couple cocktails and they walk down, all people walk down the tracks, a lot of people do. You're not supposed to. And was he good? Did he get a little bit of tipsy? Was he a homeless person that lived down there? And did he fall off the tracks, hit his head? Because they found him by the railroad tracks.
That's a cool hat. Look at the hat. It's all a hat. It's a cool hat.
So that's I'll let you talk to this guy, but
thank you for your insight, ma'am, and be safe. And I would recommend, I cover true crime, right? Our channel, we cover a lot of true crime. There's some wacky people out there. Lock your doors regardless.
My
lock
great
your
nephew,
doors.
he's 17 and he lives up the road, and he's like, Tanti, there's serial killers in the area. He said there was another one up the road or something. And my great niece's father, he lives in Jute City for now, and he said they found a body in Jute City. I'm like, really? I got a list of people that I know, but there's so much more, and I don't know.
Could be the next
Stay
Michael
safe.
Ross.
Stay safe. God bless you.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Could be the next Michael
Could
Ross.
be the Michael
Bye,
Ross.
guys.
What's your name, brother?
Jay Miller.
Jake it. What's going on?
Not too much. Not too
How,
much.
how
I
are you?
wanted
You want to
say
be on
hi
cam? You want to say hi?
Yeah,
Say what's
little
going
shout-
on?
Just want to stop by and say hi. You know, like I said, my lady loves you. She follows you daily, weekly,
Oh, man, that's
every
awesome.
hour.
What's her name?
Amy Converse.
Amy Converse.
Yeah, it goes
Hello.
by Snowballs.
Snowball. Thank you for the support,
Yep,
Amy.
yep.
You live here?
Yeah, we live probably about I don't know, half mile, 2 miles down the road type deal.
Do you have serial killers in your community?
That's what I'm hearing. That's
What do you
I'm
think?
hearing.
What do you think?
I think they're all over the U.S. and if they made their way close to us, then I mean it's about time we're finding them.
Yeah.
You know?
But I just she lives in this retirement community, and I
Okay.
talked to a neighbor up front. They both said the railroad tracks. They both think that whoever this was got hit by a train,
Okay.
and then
could be-
you know
could be a
was there for a
possibility.
while, and then you know they just noticed the body after that. But you know there's been a lot of bodies popping up. You know the female Romano about 10 minutes away, whatever. I'm gonna go check that out in a bit, and
Okay. No, it's cool. I mean, she said she's down there. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go down and say hi and show the support. And
we love it. You know,
Yeah.
most of the places we go to nowadays, someone comes out and recognizes.
you do a great job. I mean, keep
Thank
it up,
you.
Ed.
Thank
do
you,
a great
brother.
job.
Thank you. What's your first name again?
Jason.
Jason.
Yeah,
Thank
I-
you for the
I
support.
go by Miller Time.
Miller time. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Jason. Thank you.
You know what time it is?
Miller time. Thank you, sir. All right. So, coming out. What do you think, folks? What do you think? What do you think? Tell me, what do you think? Serial killer or no serial killer? That's the second person that says railroad. The guy right here at this house here, he didn't want to be on camera. He says that law enforcement went door to door. So, very, very interesting to say the least. Very interesting. So, I want to say we should scratch this one off the list. Shall we? So we scratch this one off the list as no serial killer and just someone out there. Are we scratching this off the list? I want you guys input. People are like, yep, we're solving this in real time. From community. Chris says I wouldn't yet. So some people are like, hold on, time out, pump the brakes a little bit. Let's just wait and see. You know, I will say, as we're out here each day covering these, it becomes crazy because I'm hearing more and more bodies are being pulled from the water. There was one in Rhode Island, I believe 2 days ago, pulled from the water. You know, crazy stuff. Bodies all over the place. You know, we are in a country with 300 million people. You know, people unfortunately do lose their lives for reasons, you know. I just want to know if we dealing with a serial killer or not. There has been serial killers out there. I heard Rex Heuermann, some stuff and new stuff going on with his case. They keep talking about this Ross guy around here. Ross, I kept saw this. I think his name is Michael Ross. Ross guy around here. So we got things going on, right? We got things going on. The Route 8 serial killer, possibly Route 8, Waterbury, Connecticut. We got Jack the Ripper out there. You know, there is serial killers out there for sure. All right, so I'm back at ground zero here. I'm going to sign off. JLR Investigates. Make sure you sub up to the channel, hit the notification button. We're going to talk about Michele Romano. We're going to go to that scene in a bit, so stay tuned for that. All right, folks, hopefully the reception was okay or at least decent enough. We are on this for sure. Be back soon. JLR Investigates. Have a good day, everyone. Boots on the ground.